Welcome back again to Ottawa Buzz TV, happy grounds for business tips and inspiring stories and much more. Today we have Elizabeth Young from Flower Talk Tivoli. Anyway, she's a local florist that you probably heard about from OBJ, but also you might have even had her flowers because they're absolutely stunning. And she's right here in Westboro in Ottawa. Welcome.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This is an honor. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great because I've gone to some of Lisa's events where I've seen you, but I don't think I've ever really had conversation, but I've heard,
Exactly.
your growth over the years. So I was really excited to read about you in the Ottawa Business Journal and seeing how well you were able to navigate this period of time when, you like any other business owner has been really hard hit and
Yeah,
on multiple levels, right? Like you were saying that you had a hard time, like your suppliers, were
definitely.
controlled, right? Because that's the same as any company that's selling anything that's manufactured. Everything was put on a limit, right? And
Exactly.
I'm sure lots of people haven't read that article. But I'm really curious for you to share with us, sort of the process of you being able to navigate that with that speed and then seeing such great success with it. So like what happened when you got shut down and then what did you do? And what
Well,
was your thought process to sort of get it together
oh,
so rapidly?
the thought process, I swear to God, that's a whole other conversation. But for us, I decided to close the doors a week before we were kind of deemed non-essential. Before Doug Ford said that non-essential was a shutdown, people were coming into the store. They were saying that they should be quarantined, that they come back from traveling, but they wanted to pick up flowers for their home, or they wanted to buy some plants or something like that, and just started to feel really uncomfortable because we're a very tight group of designers in my shop, and we're also very close with our customers, and our customers physically are close to us, but also emotionally too, because we've been there for so many of their major life events, from births to marriages to deaths and so on. So people are physically very, very close to us. And so people were coming in, and quite a few, as I was just saying, were showing symptoms and things like that. And then
Oh,
it just made us feel uncomfortable. And I thought it'd be very quiet right after, they're talking about the numbers being really, really high, but the store was packed. Like it was really, really busy on top of the design team I had there. And it was myself that broached the topic with my team. I was like, oh, this feels weird. Like, I don't know. And, I went home and I just said, I don't think I can put my staff at risk. And I don't know what I'm allowed to do as far as telling people to stand back from us and things like that, because we are a very open concept store. And so I decided to go directly to curbside pickup and delivery that first week. So again, before we were deemed non-essential, we went straight to that week, and it was crickets. It was so quiet.
oh, really?
People didn't know what that whole just do curbside, just do delivery meant. And it wasn't until, the announcement came of all non-essentials closed within 24 hours. And I was thinking, okay, well, I've got all this perishable goods. I have all these plants. I need to sell these things quick. So I was
Mm.
taking pictures left, right, and center of all of my plants in the store, posting an Instagram, selling them directly off of Instagram, and just thinking, I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I need to sell this perishable product. So at
Mhm.
that time too, I had also laid off all the staff because I didn't know what was going to happen. So I said, go get front of line, get CERB or whatever that is, so that you're protected. And I'll stay at the store. I'll get rid of all the inventory, and then I'll figure it out. And but a couple of days of selling all the plants off of Instagram, and I sat back and I thought, I'm like, so okay, if I'm only doing delivery, I'm only doing curbside pickup. What makes me different than a pizza place? Seeing my customers, no one's coming into my store. At that point, it was keeping everybody safe. So not one single person was allowed in my store other than my courier to pick up my flowers. And they were on one side while I was on the other. All deliveries were left outside. My team was at home. So I thought, you know what? I'm keeping everybody safe. I can keep making beautiful flowers that are needed to raise, people's spirits right now. And I'll put those
Mhm.
in. And it was the best Easter we've ever had. It was the best administrative assistant day we've ever had. It was the busiest April we've had. But the struggle was getting the flowers because all of our major suppliers were told that they were non-essential. So they weren't allowed to ship out flowers. So we looked towards our Niagara suppliers, who were at that point only supplying local flowers from Niagara. So they were able to help the farms. And so because it was agriculture, we were able to get our flowers from
Okay, because it wasn't being shipped in from overseas and all this
exactly,
kind of stuff.
exactly. And it was helping the local farmers, and it was
Yeah.
helping. So we were able to work it that way, where we were just selling our Niagara flowers for quite a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Relief, hey?
Relief that we were able to get the product, because
Yeah.
that's a scare, because I can only work with what I have. And so we
Yeah.
only had what was in the store, but then if things weren't coming in, then there was nothing that was going to make the decision for me. But because we had suppliers that were so smart about looking towards those local farms, that's the
Mhm,
reason why
mhm.
I keep going.
And I would say that anybody who's not like in the industry of flowers had no clue. Like that thought
Right.
process would be just like we're just so used to having an abundance of everything, you
Exactly.
know?
Seeing them at the grocery store, seeing them at Costco and things
Yeah.
like that.
And
So
I was
yeah,
like,
there's
oh, so this is like the whole sort of chain is impacted by this shutdown and this pandemic, you know?
exactly.
And so then after that, what sort of inspired you? Did you continue to work with Lisa through this period of time?
I did. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I needed a sounding board,
Yeah.
because I was in my head too much.
Hmm.
So she was there through everything to be able to help bounce those ideas off. If she was devil's advocate to me, my coach and my cheerleader at the same time. So it was really great to be able to have a business coach that was able to help me pivot. And I also
Hmm.
had a really fantastic web team. So they were able to help me take my whole store and put it up online. So everything went up immediately. We already did have quite a selection, but we do have quite a selection of giftware as well at the store, and plants. And all of that has since gone up online so that people can see what's new in the store, purchase right off the website, and be able to have that for pickup or delivery the next day.
Are you using Shopify as the back end, or they created a whole website
No, we
specifically
use
for you?
WooCommerce.
Pardon me?
We use WooCommerce for all of
Oh,
our
okay.
all of ours. Yeah.
And so then at what point did you decide to go online and actually do tutorials and bring people together to like really brighten their lives? Like where did that happen in the process, and where did that concept come for you? Because
Well,
I
that
fully believe that video, every business should be doing that, right?
right, and that kind of started off a little bit selfishly for me, because I was the only one at the shop, and I was used to working with five talented women and being able to create with them. And so I thought, how do I still keep the store front of mind for people? How do I get to interact with people? So I started doing 3 Facebook Lives a week, where I sent out kits for people and they could purchase the kit, or if they just want to hang out on Facebook and watch me create something, then that was open to them as well. So I jumped on those 3 times a week, and it was just myself at the store. So I do have my pickup window between a certain amount of time, and then I had a sign up that said, going on to a live video, and I'll be back at this time. And I just went and started doing my Facebook Lives, and then that's what turned into then eventually taking all of our workshops and putting those up on the website.
So prior to this, you would have like live workshops in your store. I think I did one, not
Yeah.
about flowers, but I did you brought in somebody who did silk screening, I think it was.
Yes, yeah. So we've tried working with local people and local artists to bring in macrame and bring in silkscreen, and on top of us teaching terrariums or wreaths or centerpieces, and making it kind of a creative space on Thursday and
Hmm.
Friday. People had a glass of wine, had some nibbles, made something really beautiful together, and people, they look forward to that. And so I thought, well, how can I still give
Yeah.
them that they look forward to, that they love to do with their mom or their sister or their colleague, and how do I still kind of get into their homes and be able to still make this happen? So that's when I decided to take all of our workshops and make them all virtually through Zoom now.
And so how did people initially find that they could do that? Like obviously you started local, but it went across the country after, if I
Yeah,
understood correctly, right?
yeah.
But
So
how did I know about it? Like how do I know, oh, I'm looking for like this event and I'm looking online, or like this is Elizabeth, I've been at her store and we used to do that, or it was just haphazard. Like how did people find out about you?
a lot of it was through social media for sure. A lot of it was, and that's where that idea stemmed from, is then I had people, in Vancouver, or I had people in Quebec saying, hey, I really want to do your workshop, but one day when I'm in town, and it's like, oh, I
Right.
think I can one day this right now, because no one's traveling right. So that's when, I got together with some really smart people. I'm like, how do we make this shipping option available to people? And with the help of Canada Post, and again, some really smart people, I can create these kits for them Canada Post picks them up within a couple of hours, and they're at people's homes or their doors within 24, 48 hours. So it's
That's
great.
awesome.
It is great. So someone in the West Coast could tune in with somebody in the East Coast, see, and they can create something beautiful together, which is really nice.
Right, and they can drink wine while they're doing it.
Exactly. You can do whatever you I'm talking head creating things on the other side.
This new arm, it's do you see it sort of as a new arm of your business because it's gone virtual, or it's just like a continuation of the Loke on site to beyond? Like, is it a whole
I think
new
it's
arm
more,
for you?
no, it's not. It's
No.
a bit more as far as a learning process for me, as far as, doing it through Zoom and things like that. And I just not being, physically with somebody to show them how to do something. But no, it's just
Hmm.
more of an extension of what we were already doing. The new arm is we're really selling a lot more of our giftware and our home decor and things like that. And that's been a whole other kind of section of the company that's kind of grown legs and is doing its
And
thing.
it's going across the country.
Yes, yeah, which is really
And
exciting.
and this the giftware and all that, is that locally sourced, or is that you're reliant on sort of import and export kind of companies?
A lot of import export, but all through Canadian companies, and then we also do have some local as far as us, like our kind of bubble from Toronto and Montreal, as far as local artisans and things like that.
Oh, it's okay. So local artisan
Yeah,
stuff is going to. That's
yeah,
very, very cool.
yeah. I'm excited for the holiday season. We got some goodies coming up.
So right now in your shop, has your team come back in, and how is it working now during the even now as we go into the second wave? Like,
Right, wave after wave. Well, it was planning ahead for Mother's Day, which is the single busiest. It's like the Super Bowl of the floral industry. It's the busiest single holiday of the year. And
mhm,
so, I talked to all the staff individually and asked them, what do you need to feel safe to come back? How comfortable do you feel? And
mm,
so we worked different shifts. We had, 6, 10 feet apart. We worked in all different sections of the store, and we almost became our own bubble because, the ladies that I'm working with, they either live alone or they live with just immediate family, and it's
mhm,
pretty much the grocery store, there and our flower shop that they're going to. So we've created our own our own bubble, I could say, and
mhm.
we feel safe together. So we do have one of our team members back full time and one person casual, and two people part time. So that's how we're managing it right now with people's workloads and comfort level, and my load at the store, because again, I don't know what the future is going to hold for us.
Mhm.
So we're just trying to keep everybody safe and keep our numbers where they need to be as far as our cost of goods and our staffing and all of that.
Yeah, so like I'm assuming the event industry's gone, but even like family events like the weddings and all that, it's completely changed for people. And so businesses like yourselves would have been dramatically impacted with that. But
Yeah.
from the article that I read, it was like you saw the need as that I think Canadians, because we're kind of confined to home on that regular basis because of winter, we change
Hmm.
our space a lot. But you're
Yeah.
saying that because of this, it was like people they want to keep themselves occupied, but they also want to have something to think about rather than the doom and gloom. And has that sort of the shift in focus, has that been enough to sort of come back to the loss of sort of the big event things like weddings and
Yeah.
baptisms and all this kind of stuff, funerals? I guess people still need them for funerals, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of sympathy work, but not just for the funerals and the celebration of life. There's quite a few orders going from city to city, as far as people are not able to travel. They're not allowed to come to the funerals, especially at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. Only seven were allowed. It was like really really quick to be able to do the celebration of life for people. But yes, our other side of the business has filled the hole from those weddings, from those corporate events. Like our galas, there's our gala season is obsolete. Our big
Yeah.
weddings, we get city hall weddings now, which is perfectly fine because it's still great to see people get married. But our other side, like our plant side of it and our giftware side of it, have really filled the hole for our event. Yeah, so we've been lucky with that. Our plant sales, people love plants right now. They're home. They want something to take care of. They want something that feels good in their office. So the
Mm-hmm.
plant sales are crazy right now. Everyone
That's
loves their plant.
amazing. And
Yeah.
so you're educating them as well and sort of how to make it thrive and be beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we have quite a great plant community. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
cool. And so if I wasn't in the flower business and I'm a business owner, or maybe I want to be a business owner, and I've been struggling, as everybody. What would you suggest, or in your sort of this journey that you've done the past 6, 7 months to pivot and actually change a lot of things by using what you already have in place? What would you think is your biggest learning, and what would you suggest for people to pay attention from what you've learned?
Don't overthink it. Don't wait for something to be perfect. Just do it. If I waited to feel like I looked like $1,000,000 before I went on Instagram and started shooting a video, it would never happen. Just
Mm,
get over yourself. You're more worried about yourself than anybody else really is. So just get out there. People want connections more than ever right now, and that's what's so great about social media. So just get out of your comfort level and connect with your customer. Your customers want to support you. They want to support the local small businesses, but they won't be able to support you if you have no voice. So
mhm.
get out there, do a Facebook Live, do an Instagram story, send out a newsletter, call somebody, see how they're doing. Just still make that connection, because again, if your customers hear you're silent, they're going to go on to the next guy, but they really do want to support you.
Yeah. It's human to human counts, no matter how much automation you put in it. You have to convert it to human to human.
Unbelievable. People want relationships. They really
Yeah.
do. They want to buy from people they like,
Yeah.
right? So just make a connection with your customers and do it. Just get out there and do it.
Right on. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much.
And thanks for joining me.
Me too. It was an honor and I really appreciate it. Thank you for the great questions.